Your recent behalf doesn't include to be Jenner or Kardashian to be capable to do a residing of public print posts, as a new general of influencers and micro-influencers are proof. It's excellently probable you've never heard of James Charles. Birmingham Town Justice obviously hadn't. Charles is fair one sample of an influencer, a public print celebrity who may not be an LA list celeb by usual standards, but inspires a worship-like next amongst fans, that is later frequently utilized to construct an imperial power. So how should an influencer be certain? It's who has several impact that they can monetize, explains S.J. Nuth Cooper, a elder officer at Model 1 Ability, an agent that now signs influencers as model. Or they include a dog. So if it's beautiful, Vogue, kitchen, psychological public health, creature a cook, they can use how to do a industry out of it. Everyone wants their hobbyist to be their work, and let human beings how we've treated they've abandoned their jobs and been capable to go strike. I'm making of the one position which I would differently include been making in a monthly. For the general who grew up student conventional topic at high school, how can be a hard conception to get your chief about. Natasha Ndlovu, who has constructed up 90,000 followers on Instagram in her Vogue and Beautiful posts, says the really period influencer can be a warmed speech. I wonder how's since down there's yet how general, how team in community, how thinks we're a bit unpleasant, Ndlovu says. Yet, she acknowledges, it's comprehensible how lot dong ti understand why it has be a occupation in its own order. She recalls the mess on a mailman's person while he began supplying a big quantity of means that were creature shipped to her by brands while she at first start up her blog post several year back. I get a lot of post. So a lot of the supply human beings aware who I am, they see me more than rather than they see largest human beings downward the road, she explains. Or so one period, one guy accidentally told, you appear to get a lot of packages, and I told, I'm a blogging. And he was love, which's how. Ndlovu later explainable how she discussed means on the internet, but laughs, I believe he was yet embarrassed. End of Instagram position by Natasha Ndlovu. A mark may identification an influencer who has a particular auditorium they're hard to achieve, and pay to seem on their public print feeds in the identical way they'd previous include pay for ammunition depot advertisements. The hum nearby influencers has led to main print companies take them really severely really. But time just a few influencers love Kylie Jenner are domestic names, down there are thousands of micro-influencers who are capable to do a residing of creature a big behalf during a particular, frequently alcove, box. Micro-influencers are mainly the new rock, says Nuth Cooper, wherever you can include of about 10,000 followers to 25,000 followers, and they're type of the general Z of influencers. Sophie Elegance Holmes, an influencer in vesical fibrosis, encourages her followers to conduct wholesome lifestyles and not to be detained behind if they include a state love hers. Her 34,000 followers might be a few brief of Jenner's 131 millionth, but since Holmes has such a particular auditorium, brands are acute to cooperate in her. To me, I'm very ardent on inspirational and motivational some human beings, she says. My mission statement in lifetime is to show which you can do while you've been taking into account each the concept how you really or can't be capable to do thing. Usually, Holmes promotes brands and means associated to public health and suitability, latter endorsements involve Holland and Barrett and Jim Carrey mark Beachbody. Yet, she says, she will just approve things she truly believes in, and that might gain her auditorium in several paths. If I'm departure to job in a mark, I include to do certainly how it will aid which I'm making for my public health, my learning, suitability, food, she explains. My major attention isn't to be pay, it's to include an effect on some human beings, to shove them. I wouldn't fair promote out of needing to be pay. Ndlovu has a as particular auditorium, who trust on her opinions on Vogue and Do Up. As a more dark-skinned female, while it comes to the top-end beautiful brands, human beings' requirement to aware if it's cost putting in an costly basis, since it's really hard to discover top road foundations for more dark leather tones. But down there are difficult situation in proper named for a special hobbyist or reason. Not low, consistency. How can followers confidence whose flavor and recommendations while they're normally creature pay to contribute special means? They are affecting by the influencers they select to pursue, substantially since they refer to them and confidence them. Lot influencers spot of, although, they don't take each transactions they're proposed. I say no to a lot more than material rather than I say yes for, says Nuth Cooper. This way how we supervise ability, it's all on the long life, and the micro-influencer proper how total credibility, or they include their consistency, they include to be fair on ads and sponsored or talented posts, but human beings are next them since they aware they wouldn't say yes to all. Amongst Nuth Cooper's clients are the flowering Gemini, Sonia and Anna, who say they wouldn't put their behalf to whatever they didn't trust in. We include so lot photos how would include been really success on Instagram, but they're not us, says Sonia. So we're just departure to position thing how reflects who we are, and how could be us tiring pajamas and consuming ice cream. All three, Holmes and Davlo and the flowering Gemini, do the spot how they occasionally hold the more than lighting-hearted or less than polished posts to their Instagram stories, that, in comparison with images located in the mesh, elapse following 24 several hours. End of Instagram position by Bloom Twins. Vogue designers include rapidly go to cherish the importance how an influencer can give to their mark. But Anna of the flowering Gemini warns versus human beings proper influencers exclusively for the need of making cash or proper renowned. Don't be an influencer fair for the sake of it, be a part pattern, she advises. If down there's thing you wish to tell, say on it, so human beings can refer to it. It doesn't question if you include 20 or 20,000 followers, if you say on it, it might do a distinction to whose lifetime. If you assist who, if you impact someone, you're an influencer.